and welcome to Interpret Your World, a channel designed by interpreters for interpreters to give you the confidence and practice you require to become a great interpreter. On our YouTube channel, you will find mock scenario practice, advanced random phrase practice, long form vocabulary practice, short form vocabulary practice, definitions, and tips and tricks videos. We also have a Patreon page to complement the YouTube channel where for as little as $1 of your support, you will gain access to everything on that page, including ad-free practice videos, scripts and answer sheets, vocabulary lists, and much more content. You will also find short form medical vocabulary practice videos on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Kawaii for you to practice your vocabulary with us.
Hello, how is everybody doing? I am doing great because I am finally going to do this video, note-taking video that I've wanted to do for a long time, just to show you my notes. I think it's easier to see them in this whiteboard, and because all the other videos there was glare, and then I had to focus the camera and maybe I wasn't focusing correctly and all of that. But on this one, hopefully this time I can get it good and I can show you my notes. Then afterwards I can explain to you the notes that I took. So this is just going to be a sample. I'm going to be doing like 10 minutes of interpretation from Tuesday Terp Challenge number 15. Hopefully everything goes smooth and we can have a good practice video, right? Um, a good note-taking example video. Sorry. So, all right. Without further ado, I think we should begin. Here we go. This is called an incentive. Oh, I forgot to tell you, this is Tuesday Terp Challenge number 15. I am not sure if I said that, but yeah, this is Tuesday Terp Challenge number 15 for anyone that wants to follow along. Everyone is ready now, so we'll start in 1. Here we go. This is called an incentive spirometer. You're supposed to use it every hour while you are in bed. Here we go. Alright, I don't know what's going on. Okay, now it seems to be working. Alright, let's try this one more time. Sorry about that. This is called an incentive spirometer. You're supposed to use it every hour while you are in bed to prevent pneumonia while recovering from the surgery and you are not active. Esto se llama un espirómetro con incentivo. Debe de utilizarlo cada hora cuando se encuentra en la cama para que no le dé neumonía mientras está recuperándose de su cirugía y no se encuentra activo. La forma de usar un espirómetro de incentivo es inhalar primero y luego poner los labios sobre la boquilla, asegurando que tenga un sello completo y no escape el aire. Una vez que haga eso, el siguiente paso es soplar el aire que inhaló y verá que se levantará el pistón dentro de este cilindro. Asegure mantener el pistón justo en esa marca azul que le coloqué. También debe poner atención en el indicador, porque también debe mantenerlo entre estas líneas. Es algo difícil, pero lo conseguirá después de algunos intentos. Adelante, hágalo. The way to use an incentive spirometer is that you have to inhale first and then you have to put your lips around the mouthpiece, making sure you have a tight seal so that air does not escape. The second step is to blow the air that you inhaled, making sure that the piston is rising on this blue mark. You also have to pay attention to the indicators because they have to be between the two lines. This is something hard to do, but you should get it after a few tries. Go ahead and try it.
I had a tick that was stuck on my leg last week. They had to remove it in the ER with some pliers.
Tenía una garrapata que estaba atorada en mi pierna la semana pasada. Tuve que ir a la sala de emergencia y la tuvieron que quitar con unas pinzas.
Tuvimos que colocar una sonda G o sonda de gastrostomía, ya que el bebé no se estaba alimentando por la boca. El bebé se encuentra estable ahora y le hemos colocado en una alimentación continua, lo que significa que se le está alimentando un poco a toda hora en vez de en un horario.
We have placed the baby on a G-tube or gastrostomy tube because the baby was not eating by mouth. He is stable now. We have placed him on a continuous feed, which means he is getting fed a little all the time and not on a schedule.
I did check the baby's stoma. It does look a little red. I just called the doctor to come look at it. Other than the fact that it is a little red, it looks to be healing pretty good.
I did check the baby. Sí revisé el estómago del bebé, se ve un poco enrojecido. Ya le he hablado al doctor para que le vea. Aparte del hecho que se ve un poco enrojecido, está sanando muy bien.
Debemos realizar una ileostomía durante la cirugía para darle a su colon tiempo en sanar después de la colectomía parcial.
We had to do an ileostomy during the colon surgery to give your colon time to heal with this partial colectomy.
I need you to come in tomorrow to do a cystoscopy. The only way we are going to figure out what is going on is to look inside the bladder to see if the bleeding is coming from there.
Necesito que venga el día de mañana para realizar una cistoscopía para averiguar, vamos a verle dentro de la vejiga para ver si el sangrado viene de ahí.
En realidad es muy común y no cáncer en lo absoluto. El nombre para ello es queratosis seborreica. Si le molesta, puedo intentar congelarlo para que se caiga con nitrógeno líquido. Le tengo que hacer saber que tal vez no se quite por completo en el primer intento y que tal vez necesite regresar por varias sesiones.
This is quite common and not cancer at all. This is seborrheic keratosis. If it bothers you, I can freeze it off with liquid nitrogen. I have to let you know that it might not go away on the first try, and you might have to come back for several sessions.
The blood tests The blood tests are abnormal, which means we must do a further checkup. I am concerned that it might be polycythemia vera, since you mentioned it runs in your family and your spleen seems to be enlarged.
Tenemos que hacerle una prueba sanguínea porque esa fue anormal. Hay que revisarle. Me preocupa que sea policitemia vera porque usted dice que corre en su familia y su vaso está engrandecido.
Él es un adolescente, tal vez muestra apatía por muchas cosas. Hemos mencionado que una meta será comenzar a hacer más de las cosas que le gustan. Más de las cosas saludables que le gustan, es a lo que me refiero. Él también mencionó que va a intentar una nueva actividad a la semana hasta encontrar una que le guste.
He's a teenager. Is normal for him to show apathy. One of the goals that we have mentioned is to do more of the things that he likes. more of the healthy things that he likes. I mean, he's going to be trying out a new activity every week until he finds something that he likes.
She seems to be suffering from delirium, which is this state of confusion that she seems to be in. I'm sorry that this happened to her. We already sent all the samples to the lab. I will come back once I have the results of the test to see if there is anything that might tell us why this happened.
Ella está sufriendo de delirio. Es este estado de confusión en el que ella se encuentra. Lamento mucho que esto suceda. Ya envié unas pruebas al laboratorio. Estamos esperando estos resultados para ver si hay algo más que nos diga por qué sucedió esto.
Ya veo a lo que se refiere cuando dice que él cree que en realidad se encuentra en su casa, en todos lados a donde va. Esto es lo que llamamos delusión. Esto significa que el paciente cree lo que quiere incluso cuando se confronta con la evidencia.
I see what you mean, that he believes that he is at home wherever he goes. We call this delusion. This means that the patient believes whatever he wants to believe, even when confronted with the evidence.
What you are describing is called derailment. This is when the patient jumps from one thing to another while telling a story, as opposed to you and me, that we will tell the story from the beginning to end in a linear fashion.
Esto se llama desencarrilamiento. Esto es cuando el paciente se brinca de una cosa a otra y no sigue la historia bien a comparación de usted y yo, que diríamos la historia de principio a fin en una manera lineal. Alright, and that is it. That's 10 minutes of interpretation. So, I am going to go back and I am going to explain my notes. So here we go. Let me just get everything ready. I think this way it'll be easier for me to explain. So for example, this is called an incentive spirometer. Here it is. This is called an incentive spirometer. You're supposed to use it every hour. 1 hour. That's how I remembered it. Every hour. While you are in bed to prevent pneumonia. In bed and pneumonia. And this is recovering surgery, and this is active, not as active. And I'm used to like scratching out things. That's why I scratched it out, because when I'm taking notes, if I don't scratch it out, and I might get confused with the next utterance, so I'm always scratching everything out to make sure that I already said that. So sorry about that. But this, I noticed that I scratched it out after. But you can see that this is called an incentive spirometer. You're supposed to use it every hour while you are in bed to prevent pneumonia, while recovering from the surgery and you're not as active. So all this is in here. All right. And then the next one is this one. And you can also see, let me move this. And let me move this. You can also see that all this is in here as well. The way to use an incentive spirometer is to inhale first and then put your lips over the mouthpiece, making sure that you have a complete seal and the air does not escape. Inhale first, lips, mouthpiece, air does not escape. And then once you do that, the next step is to blow the air out. You inhale, and you will see how the piston lifts up inside this cylinder. Make sure that the piston is just on this mark, in this blue mark that I placed. So here it is. I put second to indicate that that was it doesn't say second here. That's something that I added for me as a quick note to understand that this was the second step, is to blow what you inhaled so that the piston is up to the blue mark. I forgot to say that I placed there. I left this out. And then here it is. Pay attention to the indicator because it should also be between these lines, right? Pay attention indicator between these two lines. This is something hard to do, but you'll get it after a few tries. Hard to do. And then I don't know what I did here. I did kind of funky. I remembered it. And I did this because I knew I would remember what it said at the end. But I just left this here. Um, to remind me that it was after a few tries, after trying it several times and then try to make sure that I didn't forget, go ahead and try it. So all of this is here, you see? And it's okay if nobody else understands your notes. As long as you're the one understanding your notes, that is all that matters. But look, all of this was reduced to this, right? Let's go to the next example, which is over here, the tech, right? The tick. I had a tick that was stuck on my leg last week. Tick, stuck, leg, last week. Week, and then this is used to mean back, to mean last, before, or something along those lines. That is what I do. ER, I use this for emergency room always. I also put it here and then with some pliers. This is pliers right here, believe it or not. So all of this was reduced to this. All right. And then is that the next line or is there another one? I don't know the order of this, but let's I don't know which one is next. And then if I get out of here, it'll stop recording. So I'm not going to get out of it. So we'll just do it like this. So this one is the next one. All right. So we had to place a G tube or a gastrostomy on the baby because he was not eating by mouth. Look, eating by mouth, and then I crossed it off to mean he was not eating by mouth. All right, and then the baby is stable now, and we have put him on a continuous feed. Stable, place, feed continuous, continuous feed. See, this means that he is feeding little by little all the time instead of on a schedule. Feeding little all the time. This is time. Our next is always time. Schedule. And then it's crossed out. That means not on a schedule. Okay. And then here we go. Is the other one. Okay. Yeah, we're doing it right. And then check your baby stoma. I did check the baby stoma. Look red. It does a little red. I'm sorry. Little red. Little red. I called the doctor. I called the doctor to come in and look at it. Other than the fact that it's a little red. So I put it over here because I knew I was going to say that. And then healing. And then G, a capital G for me. That's always good in my notes. So then it's all here. All that it says here is here. The baby's stomach looks a little red. I told the doctor to look at it. Other than the fact that it's a little red, it's healing pretty good. All right, and then we go over here to the ileostomy. We had to do an ileostomy during the colonoscopy. This one I had a little bit of trouble with. I don't know why. Because of this, I said colon surgery instead of giving. But I mean, if you think about it, I said the same thing, but I just messed it up with this one because this confused me. I said colon surgery, and it was supposed to be colectomy, but I mean, other than that, I mean, it was understood. So we had to do an ileostomy during the surgery to give your colon time to heal. We had to do an ileostomy. I think I said we had to do an ileostomy during your colon surgery to give your colon time to heal during or after the partial colectomy. So I added a little bit of words there. I got confused with this surgery and colon. But other than that, I think it was pretty good. And I said everything. I believe it was understood what I said. All right. And then the next one is here. I need you to come in tomorrow for a cystoscopy to figure out what's going on inside of your bladder to see if the bleeding is coming from there. And this one, I don't think I said it very well, but I did. The idea was there that they're gonna look inside the bladder to see what the bleeding was, right? And let's go to the next one. Let's see if there's no more that I have to do. Wait. Uh, let's see. All right, let's go to this one, and then we'll go up there, and then we'll finish them off like that. All right. So then it's this one. All right. The blood tests are abnormal, which means we must do a further checkup. More checkup. This is checkup. This is blood test. Abnormal. And then this is concern, polycythemia vera. Since you mentioned it, it runs in your family and your spleen is enlarged. See, it's all there. That was all there and it was all mentioned. And then from here, we have to go up here. The baby stoma. So we did do this one, and then this one. This in reality is very common and not cancer at all. A common, not cancer. The name for it is keratosis, seborrheic keratosis, and then I put it backwards, but I know the order. And then if it bothers you, see if it bothers you, freeze it off with liquid nitrogen, freeze nitrogen liquid, and it might not go away on the first try. Maybe I have to let you know that it will not go away completely in the first try, that it might not. And you might have to come back for several sessions. You see this little thing coming back, see? It's returning and then session. Alright? And then on this one, he's a teenager, apathy. Maybe he shows apathy for many things. He has mentioned that one of his goals is to do more of what he likes, more of the healthy things he likes, I mean. And then he also mentioned he's gonna try out a new activity every week until he finds something he likes. Right? And then this one, maybe I should move this over here. Alright. Right. Alright, I'm gonna have to we can get a good look at it. So she seems to be suffering from delirium, which is the state of confusion state that she seems to be in. Sorry, this happened. I already sent a sample to the lab. Once it comes back and I have the results, I will see if there's anything that tells us why this happened. Alright, and I believe this is the last one, right? Let's put it over here so we can make it bigger. So, describing what you're describing is called derailment. Jumps from one thing to another, opposed to you and me. And I said, and he doesn't tell the story right. But I mean, I didn't say this, but the idea was there. You see how the idea like didn't change? Like maybe the words were different, but the idea was the same. Uh, that like you and me from beginning to end in a linear fashion, and I didn't write linear fashion because I would remember it from this sentence. So that's it. That is my note-taking style, and hopefully you can get an idea of like how much it is reduced and how like I just pay attention to several words, and those are the words that I write down. Like I don't write everything down, because that's impossible. If you could see, like, while I was taking notes, like, when I finished saying something, I was like 3 or 4 or 5 words behind what I was saying, right? So don't try to catch up. Just try to write and try to remember what they're saying and hearing at the same time. I know it seems like a lot, but you will do it. You will get it. Take key. Do take into consideration that this is 5 years of interpreting that have allowed me to do this. At the beginning, I used to take much more words. I would write much more words to be able to catch everything. But as you practice and as you're working this every day, it does get better, and you'll start to see that you'll create your own style. And other than that, all of a sudden you're gonna be like, wow, I'm not even writing that many words, for example, and you're picking the words that you have to write down because you will get used to it, and you'll know that, for example, all of these are filler words, and you have to remember incentive spirometer, and then every hour, those are like important things. So hopefully this can shed a little bit of light onto what notes are supposed to be like. And keep in mind, these are my notes. Your notes could be completely different. Your neighbor's notes could be completely different. Your teacher's notes could be completely different. This is just Juan's notes, all right? So keep that in mind and keep practicing. Hopefully, this gives you something to aim towards, right? So, uh, you have an idea of like the ideas, like the important words that you should be writing down, right? So that's it, guys. Hopefully, this will help. Hopefully, you find value in this. And if you do, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe. Um, Go ahead and share it with all your friends that might need to have a look at this. And that's it, guys. So, hopefully, this was a good video for you. Thank you for watching it to the end. Happy interpreting. Goodbye.